This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather Holder. It's Jeff Cutastrophe. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. And this will be the only video today, March the 1st, because there's no on this day. But anyhow, this basketball player was famous before he went to the NBA. And that was because in college he did something that was awkward. But anyway, he's a 5-time NBA All-Star, a former Rookie of the Year, and former #1 pick. He would play for Golden State, Washington, Sacramento, Philly, and Detroit. He is now going to be in the Basketball Hall of Fame. He is in the Hall of Fame, the class of 2021. He is 49 years old, and he is Chris Webber. So Chris Webber was very recruited. Everyone wanted him. He would attend the University of Michigan. And in his time with Michigan, he would help the Fab Five, a group of 5 freshmen who were trying to set college football basketball on fire. And that was himself, Juwan Howard, Jalen Rose, Jimmy King, and Ray Jackson. This group surprisingly took Michigan to back-to-back NCAA finals in 92 and 93, losing both times. The Fab Five would wear long baggy shorts and black socks, were immensely popular because of the hip-hop flavor. 4 of the Fab Five would get to the big time. No Ray Jackson. I feel bad for the guy. Michigan ended up losing to Duke in the NCAA title game in 92 in Minneapolis. In fact, Michigan became the first team in NCAA history to compete in the championship freshman as all 5 starters. On April 5th, 1993, Michigan would face North Carolina for the title at the Superdome. Michigan was down 73-71 after a missed free throw by North Carolina. Webber, of course, brought the ball up court, but he traveled, allegedly. Anyway, Webber tried to call a timeout, but Michigan had no timeouts left, so that's a technical foul. North Carolina sunk free throws. It was over. And all that. So anyway, Webber would actually get ridiculed for his timeout error and all that. He actually was part of, when he joined inside the NBA in 2008, they gave him an initiation ceremony that said, in college basketball, how many timeouts do you get in a game? Webber says, I still don't know the answer. Anyway, that was pathetic. Webber had a 2-year great college career, and then for some strange reason, he decided to turn pro and all that, despite the fact that he could have done much better and all that. Anyway, there was a big, gigantic problem, though, too. Despite the fact Michigan lost the finals both times, there was an issue, because what happened was that Chris Webber and Michigan their stuff was vacated. Why? Because Chris Webber was affiliated with someone by the name of Ed Martin, who was a big booster for Michigan. And all that. Martin was convicted on counts of tax evasion and robbery. He was supposed to testify on the financial connection between him and Webber, but died of a heart attack before the hearing. How convenient. Because of evidence, Webber lied about his role in the scandal, in which he got money since the 8th grade. He did give Martin $38,000 in cash to try to repay for the expenditures, but he was forced to pay $100,000 and serve 330 hours of community service. Michigan would have to forfeit everything and all that. And Michigan was basically told that University of Michigan was told that you cannot have associate yourself with Chris Webber. Webber was the only one of the Fab Five who got into trouble and all that. Webber was given an 8-game suspension by the NBA. Anyway, ESPN had a documentary called The Fab Five in 2011. Basically, he didn't completely apologize for the issue and all that. So Webber went to the NBA and was picked with the first pick of the 93 NBA draft by Orlando. Now, that 93 draft lottery was huge. Orlando had one ball in the hopper. Now, because Orlando missed out in the playoffs by one game, they got one ball in the hopper. And for some strange reason, they got the number 1 pick. Bob Costas famously said, "This is in the category, go figure, one ball out of 66, and he got it." Yeah, Orlando got the first pick of the draft for the second straight year. They got Shaq, now they get Chris Webber. Unfortunately, though, Orlando would then trade him immediately to Golden State for Penny Hardaway and 3 first-round picks. It actually worked out good. Penny Hardaway was a great Orlando player before injuries hit, and Chris Webber was fine in his career. Webber had a good year with Golden State, getting him the NBA Rookie of the Year, and actually got the Warriors to the playoffs before being swept by the Phoenix Suns. Unfortunately, Don Nelson, his coach, didn't appreciate that. Nelson wanted Webber to be a post player, despite the fact that Webber had good passing ability and good ball handling skills, despite him being 6'10". And Webber didn't like to play center and all that. But the Warriors did acquire Ronnie Cycli so that Webber could be power forward. Webber was not too happy with things and decided to leave Golden State because he couldn't get along with Don Nelson. Golden State did a sign-in trades. Once they signed Webber to a contract, they would trade him to Washington for Tom Gugliotta and 3 first-round picks. The weird thing was that 3 draft picks included 2 of the picks the Warriors traded to Magic to obtain Webber in the first place. And the Magic had included those picks in a trade package with the Bullets 4 months earlier. So they got their first-round picks back. But with Washington, he was reunited with John Howard of Michigan. Remember, this is before the booster scandal came out public. He would spend 3 years with Washington and did okay for themselves. But unfortunately, by 98, he was done for. Webber would be traded from Washington to Sacramento for Mitch Richmond and Otis Thorpe. That didn't work out. Sacramento traded Mitch Richmond. Jeez. Anyway, Webber actually didn't think he would fit well in Sacramento. However, he changed his mind. And it worked out great for Sacramento. When Webber arrived, the Kings also signed Peja Stojakovic and Vlade Divac. So this was huge. They were going all in a sense. Chris Webber actually won the rebounding crown in the 99 season, ending Dennis Rodman's 7-year run as the best rebounder. Kings got to the playoffs, but lost to Utah. However, Sacramento didn't stop there. Webber was one of the best power forwards in the NBA. He was on the cover of NBA Jam 2000 and got the Kings to the first round of the 2000 playoffs against the Lakers. They actually shocked the Lakers by winning 2 games at home against them. Well, the first one was the best of 5. Sacramento was down 2-0, forced a game 5, but lost. Webber would peak in 2001, getting 27 points a game. Webber got Sacramento to the second round of the playoffs, but lost to the Lakers. Webber would sign a 7-year deal with the Kings for $127 million, which was huge. Sacramento would win 61 games and be the number 1 team in wins in the league. After beating Utah and Dallas, they would have to face their California rivals, the LA Lakers, for a trip to the finals. It was very memorable. The teams traded wins. The Lakers won games 1, 4, and 6. Sacramento 2, 3, and 5. Unfortunately, the Lakers, well, Game 1 was not memorable, but 2 of the 3 Lakers wins for Game 7 were memorable. One for good reasons. Game 4, Robert Ory's three-pointer at the buzzer, and Game 6 for overall reasons because of many controversial calls. Because the Lakers shot 27 free throws in the fourth quarter, and Sacramento only had like 5. Technically, yeah. But Game 7 was in Sacramento because they had the better record. So Sacramento had a chance to prove themselves. That Game 6 was just a fluke. The game actually went to overtime. But unfortunately, they fumbled Game 7 at home in overtime, so not good. He was a good MVP candidate and all that. Unfortunately, he would suffer a career-threatening knee injury in the conference semifinals against Dallas in 2003. After microfracture surgery, he would play 24 games in the 2004 season, not to mention his suspension for the booster scandal. Anyway, the Kings got to 55 wins in the and to the 2004 playoffs. They would take on Minnesota in the conference semifinals. But unfortunately, the Kings lost again in Game 7. Webber almost got it. I was shot in Game 7 to knock off Minnesota and go to the conference finals. But no, he failed miserably. And Minnesota would go on to lose to the Lakers in the playoffs, but still. Anyway, the Sixers were the next step for Webber. Webber was traded with Michael Bradley and Matt Barnes to Philly for Kenny Thomas, Brian Skinner, and Corliss Williamson going back to Sacramento. Webber took some time to fit in with the Sixers offense. Unfortunately, Webber lost his lateral quickness and jumping because of the microfracture surgery on his knee. He was still good offensively, but defensively he was benched for the fourth quarters. Anyway, a lot of people thought that C-Webb was unmotivated and all that. Chris Webber was made a free agent and Detroit decided to sign him. Webber could not wear number 4 because Joe Dumars had that number retired. But Webber's nephew said that he had a dream that Webber got a buzzer beater with a number of 84. And Detroit was much better. They got to the conference finals, but Webber missed out on an NBA Finals appearance yet again, losing in 6 games in the conference finals. Detroit did not sign him, so he went back to Sacramento. We went back to Golden State, who signed him for the rest of the 2008 season. He would play in 9 games for the Warriors. But because of his surgery to the repaired knee, he decided to retire. Enjoy inside the NBA in 2008. Sacramento would retire as number 4. Anyway, C-Webb was inducted to the Hall of Fame in 2021, like I said, and did a lot of analyzing. All that. So, yeah, inside the NBA, he did pretty well for himself. Well, C-Webb married his longtime girlfriend. All that. Alright, C-Webb became a professor at Wake Forest, teaching a class in sports storytelling. I don't know if you can. I didn't know you could do that. Chris Webber actually has a collection of African American artifacts, which he started collecting in '94 and all of that. He purchased 2 slave records and all that. He has a lot of collection. An original 1901 publication of an autograph by Booker T. Washington, various documents, letters, and postcards signed by Frederick Douglass, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. It was amazing and all of that. That he had all these artifacts and all that. Chris Webber had restaurant issues and all that. His first restaurant closed because of the Great Recession. But anyway, yeah, he's a 5-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year '94. And he's in the Hall of Fame. His stats: 831 regular season games, 20.7 points per game, 9.8 rebounds, which was pretty good. In the playoffs, he had 2 or 3 very close rushes with getting to the NBA Finals. His points per game were 18.7 with 8.7 rebounds. So, Webb did what he could, but in the end, it just wasn't meant to be. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.